good that they were able to communicate to us and that their preparation, and so he's in our thoughts and prayers.
What did Kevin say to you guys? What did Kevin say specifically to you guys before you took that knee?
He just wanted to say, drop a knee, like let's get a quick prayer. So, just leave it at that. That he's just our training staff took care of everything. So, feel in a good place.
I'm sorry. You have Hudson take the first 2 reps at this period at left tackle. He's not done that previously before he came. So he's never played a game at left tackle. He's always been right tackle. So what went into thinking of putting him until Jennings?
Yeah, no, the great thing about the offseason program is James come in and he's worked and he's lined up a bunch of that spot. And so we feel good about him continuing to take those reps and the way he attacks every day, along with Hakeem and Jermaine. All those guys are pros, and so it's a next man up mentality, and it's you never want anybody to be hurt, but the good thing is you can get reps and stack reps, get the communication with the different guys. So we just try to have everybody available for all those situations, and then the more work you can get, and the better always.
Dewan was kind of in and out. It looked like he maybe hurt his shoulder early on in practice. Do you have an update on him?
Yeah, he that happens. I'm in the middle of a series, something may happen. The next guy goes in, and they, the trainer say, hey, we're looking at him, and you say, okay, cool. You have the next guy ready, and then hey, he's back in, or boom, he's back in with the next group. So he finished out the thing. So as far as I'm concerned, until they tell me different, we finished up that practice. So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, and he seemed frustrated. He seemed like he really wanted to get back out there, and of course he did get back out there. So what does it say about him?
I mean,
to fight through that.
Yeah, football is a game where injuries happen and different things happen, and it's like, whatever those things are. And again, I let the experts be the expert on that stuff, and Joe and his staff do a great job. So hey, here we're looking at this X, Y, Z, great, boom, next guy goes in. Jermaine Ifedi hopped in there. I have all the confidence in him, and then hey, he's back up, ready to go. Okay, cool, and then we get back out there.
Andy, what are the first few days of pads mean to the offensive line coach?
Maybe I'm a little different, but sometimes I think walkthrough reps are probably some of the better reps because you're going against yourself. A lot of times it's the offensive line against offensive line, understanding the techniques and the things that we're trying to work. So I make a big emphasis to the whole room that we get to control and dictate the different techniques and things, and the guys on defense know exactly what we're trying to do when it's the offensive line. Again, you love pads, you love, it's a physical game, so again, setting their pads, but you have a veteran group. You got Joel, Ethan, Wyatt, Dewan, like all of those guys. James has played every single year, started every single year. He's probably been in the league, I'm pretty sure. I thought he did play a couple at. He did. Really? Maybe that was probably practice I was watching. Okay, great.
More regularly.
Yeah. So, and then those guys have hit in pads, right? These are guys who've played and banged and all those things. So it's one of those. You love to have the pads on just because it's football. It's that physical game. You hear that the pads popping, you get a real feel. So I think anytime you can continue to work your craft in pads, it helps. But it's not as big of a deal in my mind. It's hey, are they communicating? Are the mental aspects there? Did they make the right adjustments when those things happen? But again, you love seeing people in a good fit in a zone combination or a gap combination.
Dewan is a young player. It seems like he has a really high ceiling. So kind of take us through your impressions of him from afar and now your first few months of trying to get him to reach that ceiling.
Yeah, love being around Dewan. He brings a great energy to the room. Ask good questions, stuff that you may not think about. Hey, and trying to get clarity. You saw, you watch his tape from last year. You see the talent that he has, and just like with everybody, from Dewan to Whippler to even still Ethan and Wyatt, just like the consistency for everybody just to continue to work their craft. So, excited about what he's been able to do, and I'm just continuing to build that relationship with him, learn him, and just keep trying to get him to take every day. If everybody just gets a little bit better, then we all get a little bit better.
Conklin hasn't come out of the building yet. What's up with that?
Yeah.
At least on the field, watching.
Yeah, so with Jack or anybody who's not on the field, like either they're with the strength or with training, whatever their process is, and again, I try to focus on my guys being, newer to this team and just locking in on the guys that are available there. And again, when he's in the classroom, he's asking good questions. You see him talking to the younger guys, so I don't have any more update than I know he's attacking and trying to get back as fast as he can.
We asked you when you first got here about taking over for Bill. Just how have you seen the guys, respond? Because obviously you're teaching some things that maybe Bill didn't teach. You're doing it your way, not Bill's way. Just how have you seen that group adjust and respond to the new way of doing things?
Yeah, the guys have been awesome. And again, I think I mentioned before, I worked under Bill. There's a lot of carryover, a lot of good things, and I'm a big believer if it's not broke, don't fix it. So again, maybe some subtleties or little nuances, but I mean, anytime you're in a room and you get to talk football with these guys, they're so intelligent. They ask good questions, the camaraderie. I mean, we're in a great setting here in West Virginia at the Greenbrier. Just been able to, continue to team build, and you miss your family a little bit, but then because I'm new, being around all these guys, not just the offensive line, but the running backs, the tight ends, the wider, everybody, the defense, just getting to, it's really a good team building opportunity. So, I mean, I've had a blast. The guys are fun, and they ask good questions, so they make it challenging and make sure you're always prepared so you can ask those questions, answer the questions that they ask, but just continue to help those guys. Maybe it's a little technique or anything, and having Roy and Nick in the room as well to help, and just, everybody, it's a group effort with the whole thing.
On an update on Zinter.
Yeah, Zach's been working hard. We have the rookie meetings, we have the opportunity periods, so those guys are, just look at what they're doing and just try to every day, like, hey, here's one little thing you might want to work on, and just, he asks good questions, smart, tough kid, he's hardworking, so happy to, again, as he's getting more reps, and again, with the pads on, it does help. The pads do help give a little bit more information, so it'll be interesting to go back.
Exclusively at right guard.
So far.
With Deshaun's mobility and also his ability to freelance, escape pressure, make defenses.
Sounds
move
great to me.
But just what type of challenges does that present to you from a coaching technique standpoint? Because it's not your prototypical keep that pocket clean and things like that.
A run around quarterback. I gotta see if okay, yeah. You block the guy until they throw the ball. Like that's the intent, right? Okay. We have our calls, we have the protection, and again, if there's some movement or pocket movement or whatever it is, then you have to stay connected and you have to strain. Like if the ugly strain is what we like to talk about, it's that finish, that effort that O-linemen are inherently built with. But again, those plays that may take a little more time have a potential to be explosive. So when you have a dynamic quarterback and athlete such as Deshaun, you're going to block and strain. So that's another great thing about being in sometimes when the weather's a little hot or something, just to continue to press yourself, to work and strain. You're coaching O-line, hey, you got a 3 technique. Okay, well, what's he going to do after that? Well, you got to set the guy, you got to block the guy, and you got to stay connected till the ball's gone. That's our challenge. And so every time we're up for that.
Andy, is a bigger picture, when you look at the offensive line as a whole, as you've got to know the identity that's been here at training camp, what excites you about this group, just with the group of guys you have, veterans and the younger guys?
I mean, I think I've hit it before, but it's just like you have the Ethan, you have the Joel, you have the Wyatt, you have DeJuan, so you have a spectrum, just like you said, of old, young, vets, rookies, and then just the way working with those guys. And it's a fun group. The offensive line, we probably have the most meeting time where we're isolated just because of the different things that we have to do and what the skill guys do. So when you're in that group, like you're in there for those meetings, and you make it a football conversation. So again, I'm watching film, you might say something, coach something up, and then you got Joel Bitonio saying something. You look over, Wyatt Teller's talking to Javion, you got DeJuan talking to somebody. So the fact that you can coach and talk to everybody, and I love when those side conversations are going on, because these guys are all football. They're talking a little tip from Wyatt, who's played for a bunch of years, can help at Javion. The same thing with when Joel's talking to Zach, those little tidbits of nuggets that you only get from playing that experience. So, and then the challenge of, hey, no details too small for a rookie. And again, Joel Bitonio, one of the first things, he's like, hey, I want to be coached. So you have those veteran guys who Ethan Posick, who are always asking, trying to get feedback. And so yeah, right now we have Whippler running with the 2s. Michael Dunn's played center. We got some of the young guys taking extra snaps, and just so. Again, right now I see it as, it's like a rep chart. You got guys going through, and you just never know what's going to be.
Very good. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Coach Tarver, we're on. Ready, guys?
All right, how we doing? Good. Great.
Coach, how you been doing with all these schedule changes this week?
Hey, great ones adjust. We get to go out and practice football at some point in the day, so we're ready to go whenever they tell us. Whenever we put the ball down, like we tell the defense, as soon as they put the ball down, we got to be ready to go. So that's how we function around here.
When you need a third linebacker, is it Devin Bush right now?
Right now we're all competing. There is no depth chart, as you've heard from Coach Schwartz, and we're just playing. We're all learning all the positions, and we're rolling all the linebackers in to work with each other, because no matter what happens, these are long seasons. We need everybody. So I mean, we have got everybody working next to Jordan Hicks, or everybody working next to Mahmoud, or everybody working next to Nate, or trying to get Nate next to a veteran that's been in the system like Nate next to Tony, just so everybody works together.
What have you seen from Jordan Hicks, and how much of it is like just plug and play given his experience and time for sports before?
Jordan can really focus on technique and plays, and he's seen so many things that he has the great ability to stay in the moment and calm people down, and then when he sees things, to be able to hit things quickly, both in the scheme and in other schemes. He had some real, for example, today, he had a couple in the very first team period where he was gone. He saw it and he was gone, and it was pretty. And pad level down, and so Jordan's at the point where he can really work through some simple technique things. Like if he feels himself getting up too high, then he'll do something for that. So he's very conscious. And then of course, just how great of a human he is, and how badly he wants to win and tie everybody together. We're the nerve center of the defense. We need to be able to get everybody lined up, get everybody chill, and then when the ball snaps, make the plays. So we love his ability to do that.
What's the next step for Jeremiah this season?
Jeremiah, I have a very good repeatability when I speak about Jeremiah, if that's still a word. And it is his first, keeping his body in tip-top shape. He came back in great shape. So great. Now we want to keep that through the year. And then second is his ability to do a little what we just talked about with Jordan. It's to be able to, no matter what happens on the next play, focus on when the ball's down going to the next play. And his reps in camp so far, he's been really good at that. His last 2 practices that he's had were really good, of just making a play, celebrating, right back in, and you can see him get focused and go. And because when he locks in, he's so special. He can really feel football and just let himself go play.
What have you seen from Nathaniel through training camp, and how he's just adjusted to all the nuances of the NFL?
Nathaniel's really good in that he's played all positions of football. He's played on the edge, he's played offense, he's played defense. And so he knows the game of football, and he sees and feels football. And he's been really good at not making the same mistake twice. And so when he sees something, he fixes something, and he locks in. So those are his strengths. As all rookies, it's learning the tempo of play, how hard, how big these linemen are, because the biggest difference in the NFL is the big guys are all big and fast. College, fast guys are fast guys. The big guys are big and fast, and being able to shed them and be in the right spot. So that's what practice is for. He's on his way.
You expect Jeremiah to be back out of practice?
Yeah, Kevin will answer injuries as he always does, but soon. Good?
Good.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
How's it going? Good.
Jordan, how hard is it to see what you guys had to see here in the last 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, it's hard, right? It's tough. It's part of football. It's probably the worst part of football. But we've got a great medical team, and praying and hoping for the best.
Outside of that, how's your experience been here at Greenbrier?
It's been great. First time actually in my 10 years that I've not had training camp at the location where we play or practice, and so it's been good. It's good to get away. It's good, you got beautiful mountains in the background. You get to have some downtime, get outdoors, and it's been fun.
It seems like somebody or one of your coach or players said you were relaying a lot of play calls. I was curious, when you're in the middle of the defense, like break the huddle, what goes through your mind if you see the offense line up?
Yeah, first thing you're trying to do is obviously set it right, get the communication out, make sure everybody's on the same page. Because if not everybody's on the same page, that's step number 1. Step number 2 is always trying to stay ahead of the call, right? Motion shifts, certain formations. You're trying to just predict kind of what plays the offense can run, what type of motions to get us in our best coverages and fronts. So trying to stay one step ahead of the offense.
Obviously, you've had experience with Jim Shorts and
Yeah.
Philly. Now that you're here going through training camp as an unknown still in the defense, how has that helped you in adjusting
Yeah, it's been good. I know what to expect, right, and what Jim's looking for. But at the same time, a lot of this defense since the last time I was in it has evolved. So there's been some learning curves and some understanding, but a lot of that was done in OTAs and minicamp. So we came, we hit the ground running, didn't have to install anything, just took off.
Jordan, lessons even more big picture. How do you view your role with this team?
Yeah.
Coming in as a new guy, but a 10-year vet.
Yeah, obviously got to add leadership. I obviously in my linebacker room got to continue to grow, and I'm here. I think what I embrace is the ability to share my story, the ability to spread knowledge to some of the young guys who are dealing with the pressures of the NFL and not understanding necessarily what to expect in a 17, 18 game season, right? So just got to share my experience, push my leadership, both on offense and on defense.
You saw that Browns defensive line, I'm sure, on film last year. What's it like thinking about getting to play behind those guys, and how much easier is it going to make your job?
Yeah, it always makes it so much easier if you got a disruptive defensive line. So, I'm excited. I can't wait for everybody to get healthy and just get out there and feel what it's going to feel like. We are very deep on the line, and so it's exciting. It's been a while since It's been a while since I've had a defensive line that just attacks and doesn't play back in the blocks. Like this scheme is, has had a lot of success, and obviously the success we're trying to build off of from last year.
As a defender, it's your job to hit people.
Right.
Training camp over the years has changed, mostly in the name of player safety. How tough is it to get ready for a season and get ready for those live bullets come, whether it's preseason or week one, when there's not a lot of that happening during practice?
Yeah, I just think you have to maximize every rep, right? Coach wants to lay off and take care of our bodies so that we can have that longevity, but at the same time, right, you've got to, if you're tracking a ball, for me personally, if I'm tracking a ball inside out, I got to stay inside out, and finish in a position that would simulate tackling, and every rep counts, like I said.
Jordan, bigger picture, I guess, what's your impression of the Linebacker?
It's one of the most athletic groups I've been a part of. Young, energetic, chippy, aggressive, right? Like everything you look in a linebacker group, that we have it. We just have to continue to build and lead and put it all together, every single day, and just see how we grow.
You talked about sharing your story, being that leader.
Yeah.
How would you describe your leadership style? Local in that aspect, or do you show by example? I guess. How would you describe that?
Yeah, when I'm on the field, I'm energetic, right? I try to bring energy. I think at linebacker you have to. You gotta have energy. You gotta push. You gotta show that you're running to the ball every time. But off the field, it's a lot of big brother style, right? Being more of a mentor, leading by example, but also going out of your way to help somebody if you see something, right? Not trying to be silent, but trying to step up and lead by being vocal about it as well.
As someone who played for Coach Schwartz, last year there just was an immediate improvement on the defensive side of the ball with him. I guess, what can fans expect to see different this year from year one to year two, considering how good things went last year?
Asking somebody who wasn't here last year is, I just know what Schwartz likes to be, and that is an attack, physical, downhill, in your face type of defense. So in terms of that, I don't think, that's who he was back when I played for him in Philly. That's who he is, currently. Yeah, I don't know if he's necessarily going to change that. His personality is who he is. That's one thing you can get from Jim. Cool. Thanks, guys.